Welcome to class. We'll be focusing on our breath and body coordination together, harmonizing our movement and what fuels our movement, our breath. So take a seat and we'll get right into familiarity with that breath. Feel your sits bones. If you're sitting on the floor, you can feel free to sit in a chair to begin with. Cross-legged or kneeling, your choice. Your sits bones should be on the edge of the cushion or chair that you're on, or a rolled blanket, so that you feel the anchoring deep at the base of the torso. And also with your mind's eye, just travel to that base of the spine. Notice the pelvis tilting slightly forward, so you have a natural curve in the low spine. Close the eyes to cut out the visual distractions. Come into the breath. Take one hand to your heart and one hand to the belly. So you can really feel that breath in your hands. Notice the breath for the quality that it has just to feed your movement at any time of day. So we'll notice our autonomic breath to begin our practice. Drink in your breath as if it's a cool drink of water. And exhale out. The simple system that keeps our bodies vibrant. So as you breathe now, just feel that breath pumping our energy. And when you're bringing the breath more into a conscious practice, we're affecting the breath. So let's bring that breath deep into the lower hand, into the belly first, and feel it fill the belly. And then the upper hand, the chest, and then all the way to our shoulders, so we can really notice in our hands that that's like a bellows breath. And then we're going to pump the breath out, contracting the belly, and then the chest, and then out of the mouth. So feel free to breathe into the nose, deep in that inhale, and then out of the mouth. You can even hear the sound of the breath in or back of the nasal passages, like a wave in the ocean. And without opening the eyes, take the hands to the sides of the ribs so that your elbows are out to the side, but you're cupping your rib cage with your hands. So let's see if we can bring the breath also, that deeper inhale, into a fully rounded breath, really rounding out the ribs. And exhaling, so you're noticing again this pumping action that's happening, fueling us to move forward, to be present, yet be able to move and interact with space with the support of this stabilizing breath. Breathe into those hands again, so you make that full sphere action of the ribs forward, sides, and back, and exhale. And then you can allow the hands to drop to the thighs. Notice that sense of grounding that happens as those palms reach your thighs. On that next long exhale, feel the shoulders drop away from the ears, the shoulder blades glide down the back, and you're sitting even taller through the crown of the head. Notice before you open your eyes what the energy, this breath work and the pumping of the breath has done to shift your energy. And we'll have lots of reminders through our movement today to keep that fuel going for ourselves. Notice the breath again. And if you're ever dizzy, you can always come back to just natural breath. It's always there. Flutter your eyes open. Beautiful. Take in your surroundings Notice if your perspective has changed from gently closing the eyes and just taking a few moments to meditate. Wonderful. So let's take our mat and really allow the lungs to open up by take our blanket and roll it up 3/4 of the way up the mat, and we'll take some lengthening poses as well as supporting the lungs and the rising up of the lungs. So 3/4 of the way up the mat, take the feet to the base of the mat. We'll take supported fish, which is wonderful, wonderful for unrounding the back as well as opening up the breath. So you've got a dual action here. Take the feet, ground them so that you spread the toes out. You can already feel that full surface of the foot. Take the palms behind you, elbows gently come down. Then we'll take the back of the head and support the release of the head to the mat. So you can see my blanket is not very high off the ground, but it's enough to lift the sternum. The shoulder blades, just the tip of the bottom of the shoulder blades are lifted up off the mat, and the shoulder sockets are melting down on the other side of that blanket. Great. And then we can keep our arms out in a T, or we can just take them into cactus. That's your choice. So whatever you feel gives you more ability to open the breath. Really press those feet into the mat so you can feel that support, and then the sacrum is on the floor. And from here, just take a big breath so we can feel the back of the ribs and that contact with the blanket. Release your breath. Release out what you don't need. That's the natural cleansing energy of the breath. So we'll take 2 more breaths here. Feeling the lift of that sternum. So it's really a way to palpably feel your breath, to lift that rib cage up. And notice just everything gives into gravity on that exhale. Beautiful. And now on our next inhale, we'll guide our arms next to the ears so you can feel that reach. Take the back of the hands to the floor so you can feel the reach, the growth of the spine, so the lengthening of the spine that happens as you support the back body. And just feel that you can inch your fingertips up a little bit further on the inhale, and then exhale, feel that back of the arms just touching the floor, the back of the shoulders. Exhaling everything out. Inhaling. As you exhale, take one leg long, then the other. So you're giving into that gravity. Allow that gravity to enter the legs, the length of the legs, just giving into the earth beneath you. Really lengthen through the feet as well. Keep the feet active at first. So you're just reaching through the bottoms of the feet, and then point the toes down, and then flex the feet. Point and flex. Great. As you inhale and exhale, just matching that movement, small movements with our breath to begin with. Beautiful. Reaching, and then take the feet and flop them out to the side. So we're opening up the hips as well. And now allowing everything to drape. You can bend your elbows. Feel free to just let go of that reach, and notice that we've created more space in the spine. And by doing that, we're also creating more space in the breath. So celebrate those rotations of breath a couple more times. Luxury of the breath. Give yourself a spa moment. Energizing your day or evening. Beautiful. Now shake the head side to side. So we're stretching the neck here. Continue that inhaling and exhaling, noticing that exhale allows muscle release to happen more easily through the neck muscles. And then allow the eyes to just gaze up at the ceiling. And now we'll draw circles with the chin or the nose. Just draw gentle circles. You'll feel the back of the skull on the mat. Maybe a nice little massage there. And then trace that line back, trace that circle back in the other direction. Beautiful. Shake the head side to side again, waking up the back body and the back of our skull as well. Great. Bend the knees, roll onto your side, and then we're going to take that blanket and place it over the side and then come onto your back again. And we'll begin some breath work with our bridges. So let's take those feet to the mat again and really feel that you've created a nice long spine. And then take your arms next to the body. Notice the fingertips touching the back of the heels, setting ourselves up for a beautiful bridge wave. We're going to take 5 bridge waves. So this is imitating our beautiful fluid ocean waves. And that breath is going to be matched with our movement. So keeping your knees hip width apart, pressing through the feet, curl up through the spine, bring that pubic bone up towards the ceiling. Inhale, our elbows to the mat, and then reach the arms up all the way to that reach that we were just doing, but this time in a bridge. Exhale, reach up to the sky, elbows down. As you really fully release your exhale, curl the spine down and then place the sacrum on the mat. Feel the pause before the inhale and then curl up again. Hips, elbows, arms, then up to the head, next to the head. Releasing up to the sky, elbows down, and then curl. 3 more rotations for yourself so we can really start to match up and harmonize with our movement. Feel free to make your breath audible to yourself so you can find your own rhythm. Press through the feet, visiting all those intricacies of the spine. Fully exhale before lifting the hips up, elbows, arms. Feel the muscle toning that you're creating in our deep core, in the glutes. Beautiful. Come down to the floor. Inhale the left knee towards the face. Curl, circle the ankle in one direction and then the other. Feel our sacrum implanted on the mat. So really nice impression there. And then take your left ankle to your right thigh. Inhale, feel the length of the spine. Exhale, press the left hand into the left thigh and the thigh into the hand. As you exhale, feel those hips coordinate together and level out in space. Beautiful. On your next inhale, let's reach for that right thigh and just press the thigh into the hand into the thigh as you exhale. Keeping the feet active. Inhale again, fill the belly. As you see if you can get that thigh a little closer, exhale, press into your hand and thigh. Another rotation of breath here. Feeling the expansion into those hips. And then exhale, the foot down. Unwind that knee on the left side, and we'll take it to the other side. Inhale, the right knee towards the face. Circle the ankles as you exhale. And then your ankle to the thigh. Inhale, feel the alignment from sacrum to the skull. Exhale, take your right hand to the top, to the side of that right thigh, pressing counter pressure, hand to thigh, thigh to hand. The hips are more aligned. Sacrum is even with the hips. On your next inhale, we'll grab for the left thigh, take the hands beneath the thigh and exhale, press the thigh into the hand into the thigh. So we're just harmonizing the breath and the movement. So each inhale brings you that length in your spine, that nice implanting that sacrum, and the exhale presses that thigh into the hand, and some release on our hips, those hips that work so hard to carry us around. Creating more fluidity. Beautiful. Exhale that foot down. Inhale your knee and the right foot to the ground. So we're going to lengthen now and flip over onto our bellies for our long locust pose. Take your forehead to the mat and then the arms next to the ears. So we're in our these remind me of those toys that you see with the wind up scuba toys, those little wind up scuba divers. So we're sort of taking that pose long on the mat, except our foreheads are down. And you just feel the front body contacting the earth. So let's take a deep inhale here into the belly. Feel that contact with the earth. Full rounded breath. And exhale down. So as you exhale, just feel that touch down with the earth and the sides of the arms, the fingers, and the tops of the feet. Beautiful. Inhale, we're going to actually take, sorry to say this before, but let's going to take a block if you have one nearby. So feel free to just do what you need to do to get that block. And we're going to take the block in between the hands up at the top of the mat. So adjust yourself, get that block in between the hands. If you don't have a block, it's fine. We'll just keep the hands facing each other as if you have something in between them. So forehead back to the mat, third eye down. And as you inhale, lift everything off the mat. You're going to lift your arms and your legs and press inward with your palms towards the block. And exhale down. Meet the earth. Lift up again on the inhale. Feel your back of the ribs inflating, so you're floating up, and exhale down. And let's really point the tailbone towards the heels on this next round. As we lengthen on that inhale, reaching long, and exhale down. How about one more, just for strengthening those glutes. Inhale up. And exhale down. Place that block to the side. We're going to take our arms, bend the elbows, bring them to the ribs, take the hands next to the shoulders, and feeling that tailbone pointing down and the tops of the feet pressing into the mat. We're going to take an interval here where we go 3 baby cobras. On an inhale, lift up into the cobra, press the feet into the mat. Exhale down, ease it down. So we're snaking the spine just like we were with our bridge, but really using this length as we lift up through the crown of the head, keeping the gaze soft. And then again, pressing through the feet. Feel yourself like that cobra in the grass, slithering along, and then down. As you come down and exhale, reach the arms next to the ears again. And this time we're going to do that scuba diver for real and swim. So as we come up, just notice your breath as you're paddling the arms and the legs. Really feel that you can keep that breath steady and even as we're paddling, even as we're super active. Inhale everything off the floor, the head along with the arms and legs, and then paddle as you swim to a favorite destination. Keeping the spine long, keeping the gaze a little bit ahead of yourself there. The eyes just a little ahead. Notice the breath. If you need to take a break, you can do that. Paddle one more breath. And then down, release, one ear to the mat. Sway the hips side to side. Beautiful. And then come on back up. We'll do one more swim just because developing those toning muscles in that deep in the core, in the middle. Paddle.
Notice as you inhale and inflate, right? You kind of float up. That's what we're trying to achieve. Just feeling the sensation of breath. And then release the other ear. Take the other ear to the floor. And sway the hip side to side. Great job. Phew, wonderful. Now we'll take those hands back towards the shoulders. Take the forehead to the mat. And we're going to ease up into a sphinx just so that we can feel that curling through the spine. So we're going to point the tailbone towards the heels again. Inhale, pull back. So we're in a baby cobra to begin with, and then we're taking the forearms forward and the palms down. So the tailbone's still pointing towards the heels as you gently lift and fold up through your heart. So the front of that breath through the heart is really the eyes of that that heart is looking forward before you lift your head. Roll the shoulder blades together and then away from the ears with the shoulders as you look up. Inhale, feeling the whole torso with support. And then exhale, ease down. So you're diagonally looking down. And we're going to transition up on those forearms to a lift through the hips. So we're in a forearm plank with our knees on the mat. So just feel that rolling shoulders away from the ears as we strengthen our arms. Come down through Sphinx again. Just look up. One more Sphinx here, curling through the spine. And then looking down at your hands, let's take the hands into prayer position, just so we can feel the difference between the two positions on the hands. Press the hands together and then come up into that knee plank, or if you want to come up into full plank, you can do that as well with the toes curled under. But notice the difference. So as we just take those hands together, bring a little closure, a little different position with our shoulders. Looking down. And then bring one knee down and then the other, or just come down and curl down to the mat. Separate the hands, bring the forehead to the hands. One more breath here. Exhale. Now we're going to curl up into a forearm, all tabletop. So bring those knees forward. If you want to cushion your knees with a blanket, this would be a good time to grab that. So we're going to come into forearm. We're really squaring off the hips. So we're taking those knees below the hips and the elbows below the shoulders. Beautiful. Take those hands down. So you have a choice here. You can take the hands, palms down to the mat, downward dog hands, or you can take them in our prayer position. So we're going to open up through a cat-cow here, really using our breath to inhale as we curl into cat. So curl the tailbone under. Arch that spine up towards the sky and look at the knees. Inhale, pause. Exhale, let's curl out through the spine. As we lift the tailbone, feel that rippling up through the spine and then look up. Fully exhale. Inhale again into cat. So we're curling into a cycle of breath here. Feeling the shape of the spine change as we make that different shape, opposing shape. Back into cat, feel the navel really trying to reach the spine. So you're activating the deep core. Beautiful. Exhale. Into cow. Beautiful. And then we'll take the hands back and sit back on your heels or sit in whatever seat you feel comfortable, where we'll take some neck stretching. Beautiful. So in the kneeling, you want to make sure that the pelvis is tilting towards the front. We got that same beautiful arch in the low back. And we're going to take the fingers behind us and the thumbs forward. So we're opening up the collarbones. Inhale, deep into the belly. As you exhale, feel those fingers pressed into the mat. Beautiful. Now we'll take some neck turns. So turn your head to the right. And then to the left, trace it over to the left. Look forward, gaze up at the sky,
Bring a little bit of that heart vision with you. Exhale, drop the chin into the chest, towards the chest. Beautiful. And then we'll trace a line across the collarbone to the right shoulder. And then trace it back to the center. Looking up, turn over the left shoulder. Dip down, try to reach that shoulder with your chin, and then trace along the collarbone to the middle. Look up again. And then gaze forward. On your exhale, you're going to take the right ear toward right shoulder. You release your left fingers and then make gentle circles in one direction and then the other. Place that down, take the right hand, support an inhale and then the rising up of the head and the exhale, dipping to the other side. Beautiful. And then release your right hand, trace a line, trace a circle with your right fingertips, and then the other direction. Great. And then feel that grounding through the right fingertips, exhaling. Inhale that head up, support it with your left hand. Just shake the head side to side, noticing the difference. And then come on back down to our regular tabletop. Great. And from here, let's take a cat-cow, but let's do an opposing breath. So since we're coordinating breath and movement a lot today, let's take a let's take a cow first. So inhale, let's curl that tailbone up towards the sky, feel the navel drop and rippling up through the spine, and then exhale, see what it's like to exhale into cat. So curl upward, navel towards the spine, drop the head. And then try it the other way. So we're inhaling through cow and exhaling through cat. Really push away with the hands. One more rotation. Great. Come back to a neutral spine. And then we're going to take the right inhale, take the right knee forward and guide your right foot in between your two hands. Feeling our anchor here, inhaling, exhaling the anchor to the right foot and the back shin, so the left shin. Great. Now, if you can take your right hand on the inside of the right foot and see if you can keep those hips squared off. So we're really not dropping into the hip as much as lengthening the spine away from the pelvis, keeping our right knee behind the two middle toes, and noticing our anchor points. As we inhale deeply, we're going to lengthen the spine. And as we exhale, we're going to feel that nice beautiful grounding beneath us. Now on our next rotation, we're going to take a block, if you have it nearby, and see if you can find your forearms a width of those blocks, or a block or two, so that your forearms come down a little bit in our elevation. So you can take those to whatever height you need to, or just one block, and bring your forearms down. This is definitely going to stretch out that right hip a bit. So don't go further than you're comfortable with, or stay up on your hands. But let's take an inhale and feel the shoulder blades separate. So we're doing that the same forearms as we were doing down on the floor, inhaling into the back and then exhaling, melt the heart towards the floor. Separate the shoulder blades as you inhale, and as you exhale, bring them together. Yeah. One more rotation, inhale into the back body, so separating out, and then unrounding the back by melting that sternum towards the floor. Beautiful. And then our next inhale, we'll draw that right knee back. Notice finding neutral spine for a round of breath here. Nice grounding and centering. And then the next inhale brings the knee forward on the left side,
And our foot comes down in between the two hands, square off the hips. Find the height that's comfortable for you for dropping those hips, maybe your fingertips or hands down. Inhale. And then on the next exhale, we'll take the left hand on the inside of the left foot and still see if we can square up those hips and lengthen the spine, pulling back with the hands. Inhale, exhale, release. And then on our next inhale, see if you can grab that block and exhale the forearms down to whatever level you're comfortable with. Find what's comfortable. So we've got the front foot is our anchor and the back shin. And then we're lengthening the spine out of that base of the pelvis. So this is a deep hip stretch. So definitely take it easy. If you want to just be up on your hands, that's fine. Or down on the forearms, whatever you need. Higher level of block. Finding the breath that supports you. Beautiful. Now take that block to the side, hands to the floor, and then bring yourself back to all fours, and we'll just sway the hips side to side, kind of getting some just fluidity there with our breath. Nice. Okay, let's take those props to the side. Now we'll come up into a downward dog. So you can take that blanket over to the side if you have that there. Curl the toes under, bring the knees off the mat, and bring the ribs to the thighs on an exhale. Really pushing away with the hands. And then let's just pedal the feet as our hamstrings find more opening with each exhale. Great, as we come towards a standing pose. So take this opportunity for the back body just to find some opening. Tiptoes now, even feet. Bring the ribs to the thighs and then allow the heels to descend. Release your breath. Walk the hands to the feet on an inhale. And an exhale, keep the knees bent as you find a dropping down of the spine, just draping over and releasing the head to a forward bend. Beautiful. And now we're going to sweep those hands to the hips. Inhale into that back body, so the back of the ribs, into a flat back. And then hinge from there as you exhale up to a standing position at the top of the mat. Great. Find that mountain pose with the feet on the mat. Hip width apart. Find the words. Inhale the arms above the head. And then exhale, sweep the arms behind you, clasp behind the back, and feel the drop of the hands towards the sternum to open up even more through our collarbones and allow more breath to fill that rib cage. Remember that full rounded breath we're taking. Inhale, exhale, feel the drop of the hands. And then we'll take those hands, allow them to travel to the base of the spine. So right outside that sacrum, palms on the base of the spine, and then press the fingertips towards your heels, right? You're supporting the low back and the elbows will go behind you. Inhale, allow the heart to look up at the sky. And there's a gentle arc in the upper spine looking up as well. This is camel. We're not kneeling, but it's still a version of camel pose. Exhale, come forward, hands to hips. Inhale the arms above the head, so we're coordinating with our breath. Exhale, we'll step back with the right foot and we're coming towards a warrior one stance. So we're angling that back foot and feeling the base of our front foot. Let's take another round of breath here as we really lengthen through the spine.
And as we exhale, we're going to adjust our back foot so we can bend that front knee toward a nice grounded warrior one. Feeling the energizing of the feet together, explore all of the tiny sensations that happen here. Inhale deep into that belly like we were doing earlier with our sensational breath work, and then sweep the arms down to the hips on an exhale. Just feel that leveling off of your hips in your hands towards the top of the mat. Beautiful. And then inhale yourself. So you tiptoe the right foot back up to the top of the mat. And then we're going to switch switch the weight on our legs to the right foot. So the balance is going to be on the right foot. You can stay on the top of your mat. I'm just going to turn around to show you. We're going to come into eagle pose. So inhale the arms up to the sky, exhale, and we're going to take the left arm under right. So let's just take the eagle arms to begin with. So we've got the thumbs in front of that third eye. Wrap around your hands as you need to come into the center. Exploring the breath here from our mountain feet. We're going to inhale, take the fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, bring the elbows down towards the earth. So we're just tracing a line towards the sky and exhaling, noticing the subtle changes that happen when we breathe. So we're feeling the breath move the body, allowing us to really glide through those shoulder sockets. So staying here, find a neutral place with your eagle arms. Take the weight into the right foot, trace a line in front of the right foot with the left, kickstand your left foot on the other side of your right. See if you can bring that glue energy between your shins as you sit back into a chair pose, keeping that left foot kickstanded if you'd like. Exhaling as you sit back, keeping a gaze still and soft. Balance. Lift the left foot up lift the left foot up the right shin if you'd like to find extra balance and strength. Hold it. Exhale out. Sweep the arms out and up, back to mountain pose. And really reach for the sky, and then exhale, swan dive down to a forward bend. Take bent knees as you need to. We'll bend the knees so that the hands can find the floor and walk back to a down dog. Exhale. Find an inhale here, feeling the lengthening through the spine. Find an exhale, rounding through the feet and the hands. Beautiful. So we're using this as our base pose here. And then walking the hands to the feet again. Sorry, did I say feet to hand? I meant walk the feet to the hands. Keep the feet hip width apart. And then we're going to bend the knees and we're going to come into a chair. So sweep the arms behind you, inhaling. Feeling the back body expand. Exhale, sweep the arms down next to the ears and then up. Through our exhale, feel the base of the feet, all four corners, reaching next to the ears. One more inhale. And then exhale, press through the feet, really reach up for the sky. Reaching up, sweep the arms down on your exhale. Behind you, clasping the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look forward. And we're taking our, let's see what you do. Yes. We're taking the hands to the base of the spine. Inhale into camel pose. Exhale into our neutral spine. And then inhale the arms up next to the ears. Keeping that long spine, let's exhale the left foot back. Angle that foot so that we're really reaching up and lengthening the spine. As we exhale, we're going to step that foot back and bend the front knee in our very even stance through our warrior one. Exhale, take the hands to the hips, and you can just guide them into that position. No forcing, just guiding towards the front of the mat. Beautiful. Your next exhale brings you forward, tiptoe forward to our mountain pose. At the top of your mat, take the arms out through mountain pose up to the sky. Exhale, right arm under left. Find that eagle, arms. And then inhale as you trace that line up with the breath, elbows up and then elbows down. Gentle elevator up and down. Find a nice neutral space with your arms as you take the weight into the left foot and wrap the right foot around. And glue those legs together as you sit back into eagle. Feel free to challenge yourself to bring that leg off the floor, that right foot, so that we can really show ourselves how we're building our strength through a regular practice. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Bring that foot back down, unwind yourself into mountain. Roll the shoulders back behind you and roll them forward. Beautiful. We'll inhale the arms up to the sky. Come onto the tiptoes. On the inhale, on the exhale, feel the heels drop. And then with that strong feet on the floor, swan dive down, forward bend. Fingertips find the floor. We'll stay in a flat back. Even if you have the bent knees, just stay in that flat back so you can feel the back of the lungs. Inhale, inflate behind you up towards the sky. And then exhale, drape it all down. Release the head. Shake the head yes and no. Feel how the exhale supports micro degrees of release, a little bit more each time. Take the thumbs to the elbow creases. Oxygenating the brain here, keeping it below the heart. Very healthy practice for the brain-body connection. Bend the knees, bring the palms to the floor. Walk the feet back to another down dog, where we can get those hamstrings open. Oh, so much better when you do this the third time. And then bring the knees to the floor and we'll transition to our floor work. So come on onto the back. Take that same bridge position. Hands find the back of the heels. And we're going to do 3 bridge waves here again, just noticing the difference from our first rotation. 3 with your own rhythm of the breath. I'll be silent. Sacrum finds the floor. And we're going to inhale both knees towards the chest. Exhale, really squeezing the air out with your pressure of the thighs on the belly. Feel the curling up of the sacrum off of the mat. And then allow the sacrum to descend to the mat, releasing through your next exhale. We're going to take the thighs towards the armpits, so the knees towards the armpits. Exhale, find that sacrum as your guide on the mat. Take the hands behind the thighs and then the soles of the feet to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, feel the gravity of the thighs onto the rib cage. Adjust your hands so they're on the ankles or the sides of the feet. And we find that nice fluidity in the hips here as we roll side to side. And just feel that happy playfulness of a child. Spread the toes. And now we'll do a rotation between our cobbler pose. So we're bringing the feet together, open up the knees, butterfly. Exhale into happy baby, where those thighs and that pressure on, that gentle pressure on the belly just allows a deeper exhale. And then inhale back into our cobbler pose, butterfly. Exhale into happy baby. If you feel that tightness in the hips, just this repetition matching with your breath, just encouraging some hint of more fluidity. That's all we really need, little by little. And hopefully, as we begin to teach ourselves through this gentle movement to support movement with breath, then we can translate that to our daily activities and how we breathe along with those movements and how important that is in the long term. Beautiful. Allow the feet to drop to the floor. Exhale it out. If you have a strap nearby, we're going to take a lovely hamstring release and a twist. So let's take that right knee towards the chest. Take the strap around the ball of the right foot and then reach up for the sky. Feel as you exhale, that right leg can just drop into the hip, into that hip socket. Beautiful. And just bend and straighten the leg. Nice. So you can just encourage that opening. Be sure to breathe deep into the base of the torso so we can encourage that oxygen all the way to the hips. Great. And now take the hands on, the right hand onto both sides of that strap and guide the right leg out to the side, to the outside of the body. And you can straighten your left leg along the mat, taking the hand as you feel that thigh stay rooted on the left side to the floor. If you want to keep the knee bent, you can just take that knee out to the side for a counterbalance. So this time, as you inhale, feel the lengthening of the legs away from the body. And as you exhale, feel the hip bones coming together. So there's a synthesizing of both sides on the exhale. Inhale, feel the reach. Exhale, feel the two hip bones and the sacroiliac joints that we had about last week, or a couple of weeks ago. Just glue them together. A dual action stretch here. And then take your strap, trace a line above you with that right leg across the body and take the right heel towards the left hip. Nice long lengthening of that outer hamstring. Whew, we need some breath here. And then bring that big leg back to neutral, bend the left knee, bring the foot to the floor on the left side and bridge up. So we're coming into a twist, allowing the right foot to just land on the floor. Take the left hand to both sides of the strap and see if you can find an alignment as you inhale the skull to the sacrum. And that, so we're supporting the pelvis on the floor, perpendicular to the floor. And you can bend the left knee. Take the right hand to the heart. Inhale into that hand. Exhale. Let's see how we can open up to the side into a twist. So we're guiding that sternum up towards the sky as we keep those hips nice and even. Exhale the right hand out to the side to a T. Press through your left elbow on an inhale. Exhale the body, the back body rooted to the mat, just folding open. And if you want to grab your left foot or a thigh stretch, allow the breath to tell you if you're pushing too hard or going too far. Face comes over towards the right, just bringing our top of the spine into this twist. Great. Release that back foot if you've got it. Sweep that right fingertips across the sky. So you're painting beautiful colors there. And then take the hand to the strap and we'll come up onto the back. Great. And bend the knee. Release both legs so where they're both long on the floor. As you close the eyes, perceive the difference between the two legs. You have created change in your body just by noticing the difference. And then bend the knees, open the eyes, inhale, take the strap around the ball of the left foot, reach it towards the sky. Dropping into that left hip, bend and straighten the leg. Excellent. And then take the strap into your left hand, both sides of that strap, allow the left leg to fall open to the left. Just pressing through the strap to keep yourself grounded. Find the sacrum on the mat, either open your right knee out to the side or lengthen that right leg down to the mat. But if that right hip lifts up, see if you can press it down with your right hand. If you've been doing this with me for a while, you'll probably notice that as you've been doing this more, you're able to bring that thigh closer to the earth or really keep it more grounded naturally. Keeping the hips even as you create more opening and more space in your hip joints. Take that strap and we'll take that leg up on the left, back to neutral, across the body towards the right hip. There's that outer hamstring. If you need to bend and straighten here, you can do that too. This tends to be one of the most sensational hamstring stretches. Just letting you know, I could use this once in a while. Good thing to do regularly. Great. Bring that back to neutral. And we're going to bend the right knee. bringing the sole of the foot to the floor, and we're going to bridge up and go onto our right side, landing softly with that left leg. I'll switch over so you can see me. Bend your right knee, the one on the floor. Yeah, keep that bent. Inhale that spine nice and long so you can find that skull and sacrum matching up there. And then our left hand comes to the heart, elbow to the sky, open up, trace that line, feel the shape of your length of that collarbone and arms. Pressing the right elbow. On an inhale, you can just lift up, and on exhale, melt. Very luxurious. Find your right foot if you want, if the breath tells you to do that. And then looking over your left shoulder will allow that full spine to coil upward towards the crown of the head. See if you can really fill that belly with the breath, and the ribs, even though they're in this coiled position, you can still breathe that full breath into them, and then exhale. Release your foot. Finger paint with your left hand up at the sky. Bring the palms together, and then reach the left foot up, left leg up. How much you've lengthened that. It's beautiful. Bend the left knee. And place that strap to the side. Take the knees together, the feet wider apart towards the edge of the mat. Just feel easy pose here. One hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Have you made a chemical change in the body? If you have, just kind of feel that essence, that energy shift as the breath fills your hands. Making that cellular change with oxygen and carbon dioxide. That beautiful chemical exchange that translates all the way down to our toes, throughout the whole body. We can make that change. Take the right arm out to the side and the left arm. Press through your elbows and lift the sternum up towards the sky. Take the shoulder blades together. Exhale, roll it back. Melt even more. Palms to the sky. Inhale, exhale the right leg long and the left leg long. Float through your next inhale. And your next exhale allows the feet to flop out to the side. So we really release all the way up to those hip sockets, outward. Yet with each breath, we still bring a magnet into that center of the spine. So that beautiful current that flows through our spine, always pulling our energy together to center. And allow the breath to orbit that vertical center of our spine, in this case, horizontal. Bring your awareness inside the center of your body, closing the eyes. Sending your attention to a change you'd like to make moving forward. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And bend the elbows and the knees. Exhaling onto your side. Bring yourself up to a seated position to conclude the practice. Inhale the arms above the head. Trace that line down the center, past our third eye, through throat, heart. So great to practice with you today. Thank you so much. Namaste.